A WWE return offer was turned down. That's right. WWE offered a legend an opportunity to come back into WWE, whether compete, be on TV, be a GM. We don't know, but we're going to talk about it because an offer was made. It was turned down. Also, another NJPW star potentially leaving the company. And we are going to talk about WWE and brand split pay-per-views. It's all coming up right here on the Ango Show. If you guys want more videos like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button and ring that bell. This way you never miss a video on the channel. I want to say thank you guys all for your subscriptions and for your support this year. It's been absolutely incredible. But you know what else is incredible? The idea of the War Dogs all leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, this is a very interesting topic for a variety of reasons. Earlier today, we talked about Clark Connors and David Finlay all having their contracts end. And this has obviously become a very, very big talking point, honestly, for the simple fact that really New Japan Pro Wrestling is kind of tricky. You hear of stories of people leaving the company. You hear of stories of where contracts are expiring and then people work without a contract. You hear stories of people working in New Japan and then potentially coming to AEW or signing with AEW. But now today, Clark Connors and David Finlay, they're not the only two people. And that's because Drilla Maloney is now up for a new contract. Fightful Select has reported that Maloney's deal is actually up ahead of Wrestle Kingdom. As you guys know, he's been working with Shingo Takagi. Maloney has appeared in AEW in the past, and then of course he was a former WWE NXT UK talent from 2017 to 2021. Maloney's contract is set to end soon, and it sounds like they all have interest in exploring the new deals with other companies or whatever it may be. New Japan is also rumored to want to retain them, which obviously makes sense. But if you're Drilla Maloney, if you're David Finlay, if you're Clark Connors, you have to wonder if AEW is an option. And not only that, but you have to wonder if WWE is an option. WWE is very funny here. AEW is very funny here. I think everybody has that it's a foregone conclusion. Hey, they're probably going to show up in AEW. I like the idea of AEW bringing in War Dogs. I mean, right now they're working with Gabe Kidd and they work with all these other people from New Japan. The thing that's enticing about an AEW deal, and I mentioned this in the previous video, was that within the AEW deal, you could still work New Japan. Obviously for WWE, that would be off the table, but you would have to wonder if WWE would like the idea of bringing them in altogether. And that brings us to our next topic. Ladies and gentlemen, we should talk about it. WWE brand split pay-per-views. Boy, this is an interesting one because I have asked for this for a long time. I really, really have. And now, if there was ever a time where it would make the most sense, it would literally be now. I mean, look at the ESPN deal. You know, the ESPN deal is this very big deal for WWE, and it's awesome. But what I'm noticing with WWE and the ESPN deal, these match cards are 5 matches, maybe 6. 4-hour-long pay-per-views with that many matches, I'm not a fan of that. But I think if you want to have more matches on a pay-per-view, then you could do brand-specific pay-per-views. I get it. A lot of people probably won't agree with me. I'm fine with that. But I wouldn't mind if WWE did 2 pay-per-views a month, one for Raw, one for SmackDown. Well, that's not happening. According to Sean Ross Sapp, this was actually something that's been, talked about, and it's actually WWE's call, not because of them, but because of ESPN. So ESPN basically did not pay for half a roster on a PLE. So when they made that massive offer, they basically paid for a PLE that would have 5 or 6 matches with the full roster. That is what WWE and ESPN are considering their standard right now. So, yeah, unless ESPN were to change the offer or change the terms of their deal, and then, maybe financially there would be some changes to it, you cannot expect brand split PLEs to come back, at least under this television deal, under this whole situation. I mean, quite frankly, I hate it. I know my opinion is not the popular opinion. I think WWE is already oversaturating so much with content. But I like the idea of Raw and SmackDown specific pay-per-views because that show would be dedicated to literally prolonging the stories for that brand. And I understand why people wouldn't like it, but if you're paying $30 a month for ESPN, is it really worth it for 5 matches? Now, for example, if you got 2 PLEs, because you got to factor in you're not getting NXT. So if you're getting 2 PLEs, one for Raw, one for SmackDown, both of them had 5 matches, dude, you would start seeing the mid-card titles being defended more often on PLE. You would see the tag team title belts being defended more often on PLE. It's almost like a no-brainer in my opinion. But I get it. ESPN is not paying for half the roster, and that's why this is a thing. So it's kind of unfortunate for me because I know this is something for years that had been rumored, and I got excited about those rumors. But now I know that it's not going to happen. And regardless, if WWE wanted to do it, it's not going to happen because their TV partners are ESPN, and the way the business is conducted is the way it's conducted. And that brings us to our final topic. Ladies and gentlemen, WWE made an offer to bring back a very big name, but of course, it's not happening. We're talking about Gail Kim. Gail Kim has actually revealed that she turned down a WWE offer. Now, she did a recent Q&A session, and one of the questions that she was asked was about a potential return to WWE after she was let go from TNA Wrestling. And she said, I had to decline the offer, unfortunately, and it sucks, but she had to. Now, keep in mind, Gail Kim was rumored to go to WWE. We know at one point she was even backstage at NXT tapings, and that was something that was reported. I want to say, maybe I'm wrong, but like May or June or July of this year. I can't remember. I'm not really good with times, but I remember Fightful had reported something about Gail Kim being backstage. So now we're in a situation where Gail Kim could have, honestly, if she wanted to wrestle, she would be great at wrestling. But if she wanted to work in NXT, be an on-screen general manager for NXT, I mean, she would be amazing for that. But if she wanted to work backstage in the Performance Center and coach people and train people and be part of the creative team, she would be amazing at that as well. So why did Gail Kim turn it down? We don't know. She's not really revealing too much as to why. But she did this Q&A on Twitter. You could see her response. I don't know. Kind of a shame, to be honest, because I think Gail Kim is awesome. And she was awesome doing stuff in TNA for several years. TNA getting rid of Gail Kim was not a decision I agreed with whatsoever. I thought that was a very odd decision. I'll never understand it. But in my opinion, AEW or WWE making that offer would make the most sense. And whoever gets her would benefit greatly. So that's the way I see it. But Gail Kim turned down a WWE return. It is what it is. Let me know what you guys think down below.